Hello, hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to here if you're a first time. My name is Jobadiah, my gamer name is Roman Revenge. Talking about Ninth Age Battle Report. Put the date there, January 30. It's 2021. I'm playing a list with a lot of 90 flagellants. Here we go. Ninth Age Battle Report. This is actually round 3 of New Year's Revolution. And I got paired up with Nighty. We played against this team from Vienna, Austria, and I'm not gonna discuss the pairing price process, but I thought it would be a pretty good matchup because I figured elves would have a hard time killing resilience 4 guys that are wounding them on 2s. Um, yeah, we'll take a look at the list. So let's go through it. This is my list. This is what I've been playing in 2021. Main thing people look at when they look at the list. I have 90 flagellants. It scares some people. I also have 2 cannons. Also scares some people. But there's no BSB. That causes some issues playing without a BSB. But I do have Discipline 10 because of Imperial Seal. And when I'm in have the General and this infantry block with Household Standard, that means I have a commanding presence range of 18, which is nice. That's about it. There's nothing else that's fancy about the list. Alright, this is who I was playing against. Highborn Elves. Things that were tricky. He had 2 Griffin Cowboys. People love using Cowboys. Griffin Cowboys are popular for Highborn Elves. This was the first time I was playing against Griffin Cowboys, I think. I haven't played against Highborn Elves that much. The typical Highborn elves that I've played against actually is more of the Furion build, where they take a bunch of Sea Guard and a Dragon and a couple of Knights, and then they just zone you. This guy didn't play with that, which I was grateful for, because I really hate playing against Sea Guard. But he had 2 Griffin guys, he had a Pyro Master, which was bad for my Flagellants. Pyro's pretty good against them. And he had Frost Phoenix, which was hard to kill. So let's take a look at his list. We played Secure Target, and it was on Refused Flank map 14. Refused Flank, I have a bad history with. I never do well on it. I must be doing something wrong. Um, he won the rule for sides. Surprise, surprise. That happens every single game. So I got to choose who deployed first. So I deployed, and I deployed everything. Um, he put the target down here, and so I chose to put it up here. In my mind, if I put it up there, I thought he would have trouble. I'm trying to remember my logic about it. I think my logic was, I think, because we placed this before we picked sides. I don't remember. Um, I don't know. In hindsight, I think I should have just placed it back here. But I didn't. Anyway, this is the way I deployed. Cannons are placed in a way. I was a little aggressive with this bottom cannon, and this cannon down here, though, it's because I didn't want him to. I figured, like, typically people would put their cannons back around the water, but on this map, the problem is with the impassable where it is. And I did play that. This is the same map I played against Hypnotic on Inferno Dwarves a couple weeks ago. And I wanted to not make the same mistakes I made then, because I also had to drop for first. And at that point, I had put my cannons back here. But the problem was with this impassable, then your opponent can just deploy up here in front of the hill, and your cannons can't really shoot it. He can just kind of hide behind this impassable. So I put a cannon up here so he couldn't do that. And then I put my other cannon down here so he couldn't even hide behind the hill. Figured this way I could at least have one cannon. If he wants to hide behind the hill, I have one cannon at least I can still fire at him. So that's why I did what I did. I'm not sure if that was the best thing. The problem was with this cannon up here, with this impassable and with the hill, Your opponent there actually has a really small firing range, as you'll see as the battle goes. So this cannon up here wasn't really that great. I think maybe with cannon I just needed to commit and put them both down here and zone him, and that way, that might have gone better. Other than that, I also tried putting my mage in the support unit. Trying that out. I usually put it in this big block with the general, but I decided I wanted to actually use that block to fight because there is a lot of points there, and I never use it to fight. I put the Arcane Engine up here. I thought having my cannon and knights and flagellants down here, I thought that would force him to deploy up here. But I think I got too spread out, and I still not really sure how to deploy very well on Refuse Flank. So there you have it. This is how he took advantage of most of his army down here. His thought was, my cannon's exposed. Yeah, I get a turn of shooting at his stuff, but then he has fast stuff that can just take out my cannon, and then he doesn't have to worry about it for the rest of the game. So he knew how to manipulate that. And then he hit his other griffin up here, so my cannon couldn't shoot at it. And the way his stuff is positioned down here, this cannon up here, I think I could stealth fire at the phoenix, but that's about it. So I put scouts here to try to shoot at the phoenix. I put scouts in the woods to shoot at the phoenix, and I put other scouts up here to act as chaff and block him from getting to the secure target. So that's it. I get to go first. I'm just pushing forward. Everything up here is now way out of the way. And yeah, I have issues because I need to have a scoring unit to pick up this target. But Giants don't score. But Giants are way out of the battle. I really need them in the middle. And I need to get this spear unit up there. So I just push forward. As you can see, I didn't really move the knights. I don't know what to do with the knights. I was trying to zone stuff, but the problem is the griffin and the phoenix have the same or higher range as my knights, so my knights can't really zone stuff that well with only advanced 7. Um, the spears I should have moved differently. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. So, a magic, I think I got nothing off. I had a bad magic phase and I failed. Usually what I've been trying to do is I take enveloping envers, so number 6 spell from Pyro, and I think I 3 diced it and I failed. And I needed 10, although with a mastery you only need a 9, but still, I think I 3 diced it and I failed. I could have 4 diced it and still failed though, because I didn't have a lot of options. So, um, and then he just dispelled everything else. Let me go to shooting. It must have been my cannons just missed stuff. My cannons didn't really hit. And you can see my rangers. All of my ranger shots only put 1 wound in the phoenix, so not going great. Now it's his turn. He is prepping now to take out my cannon. He just manipulates it this way, hides the phoenix behind the hill still. That's about it. Uh, what else happens? Oh, magic. So he magics, gets a pyro spell off, takes out one of my heavy infantry guys. Not a big deal. Not a lot really happening. Now that I'm in this position, I feel like I need to block to protect the cannon. So I put my knights out here so that, yeah, the phoenix can fly, but it's kind of a long charge to get to the cannon. And I'm not really worried about his knights charging. I just need to block his knights from getting into my cannon. So it was either rangers, and rangers couldn't move far enough. Because all I could move, and so I put the knights here. I don't know if that was smart. I probably should have just and backed everything up. But I'm kind of in a pickle at this point because I didn't deploy well, and he just took advantage of it. So there you have it. I did put my mage back into my big unit, a swordsman, so that I could take my spears and move them up to take the objective. That's basically all I need to do at this point. But with this impassable, it's causing some issues. Um, Magic, I put Altered Sight on the Rangers. Hopefully I can bring down this Phoenix again. Yeah, and you can see I get a couple of Pyro spells off and start damaging his units, but not a lot. I did get some wounds on. This cannon misfired, so, yeah, on turn 2 he misfired and he got it jammed. So that's not good. And the other cannon can't really see stuff. So, not great. Then, of course, he charges everything into the knights. I stay, of course, because the plan was uh, to block the cannon. Although now the cannon misfired and jammed, maybe I should have just fled. Because if I flee, let any you guys let me know if I should have fled at this point. Um, the thought was I needed to commit to my plan, because if I flee, I'm not protecting the cannon. Then his knights are just going to redirect into my cannon, and his Phoenix and Griffin are just going to redirect into my Rangers, which I guess my Rangers can flee, and then he's out in the open. So that's what I should have done. I should have fled with my knights this way. At worst, they panic my spears. I guess maybe they don't get that far. Maybe they only end up. Well, if I get them here, I guess I could have panicked spears and rangers, but that's really not that bad. I probably should have fled with them. It wasn't on my mind at all. So that's why I do these videos. There's much for me as for you guys, because if I talk out loud about the battle report, about the battle, I learned things as I'm talking about it, that things that I don't think through otherwise. So, um, yeah, because if he charges the knights, he's a decently far away. I mean, he's like 7 inches away. Well, the Phoenix could have caught me. And I don't, the problem is if I flee here and the Phoenix ends up here, I can't charge next turn with the Flagellants. But leaving my knights there, it was basically destruction. Like, he's just going to kill them, and I don't gain anything out of it because I still can't countercharge next turn. So, anyway. Yes, of course he charges in. He keeps trying to shoot my Rangers. And he basically his main thing is his archers shoot my Rangers, and he pyros my Flagellants because he needs to get my Flagellant units down, whittled down before he can engage in close combat. All right. My knights actually didn't. I still had a full rank, which was nice, but they broke and they fled, and the Griffin pursued and caught, and his other two knights just stayed, I think. So there you have it. My turn. I decide, my Flagellants are on his Griffin's flank, so I decide if I charge my Rangers into his Phoenix, then my Flagellants are free to charge his Griffin in the flank. I figure I'll get a flank charge, so that gives me an extra, like, +2 to combat res, and I might do enough wounds back to him anyway to break him. The mistake I made was I charged my spears in. And the thought was, if I charge my spears in, that'll keep, then I have ranks. So with a flank charge and with ranks, now I'm winning by like +5. But what I forgot was, with the spears in there, he's just going to attack the spears, and he's going to negate that combat res, and then I'm not going to be able to break him. So I shouldn't. That was the next big mistake I made. I should have fled with the knights, and I didn't. And then on the following turn, I charged with my spears, and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have charged with the spears. Um, so there you have it. So I charged in like this. Everything else is just pushing forwards. I can't really move my spears because of my arcane engine is only movement 8, so but that's fine because it's only turn 3. I have time still to get them up here to score. I move my rangers on top of the hill to my main target is to shoot his alien reavers because I want to kill his chaff because I know he's going to chaff me, right? I put stars align on them. I figure with reroll to hit, I'll be able to do good damage. Did I get any damage spells off? I don't think so. I with 20 shots and with reroll to hit, I only killed one. So that did not go as I thought. Someone else could crunch the numbers. I never crunch the numbers. I just say 20 shots at 5 guys, I have a good chance of killing all of them, right? Yeah. Combat-wise, I only do 1 wound to his griffin, and you can see he kills 6 spearmen. So now with a flank charge and a wound, I am at combat res 3, and I still have 1 full rank in the spearmen, so I have combat res 4. But he did 6 wounds, so he actually wins by 2. And I stay because I'm steadfast. But now he can charge his Flame Wardens into my Flagellant's rear. He can charge the Phoenix into my flank. And he can charge his Lancers into my Spears. So, he also put his Flame Wardens into my Rangers. And my Rangers, I thought about fleeing. But I felt that if I stayed, then that would leave him. First of all, I have Stars Align, which means I have Divine Attacks, and I thought I might actually have some good attacks against his guys, because his guys have a 4-up Aegis save. I might actually kill a couple. I also stayed because if he charges, he ends up here, and then I thought he'd be in range of either my parent unit or my Flagellants to charge and take him out. So that's why I did what I did. Combat-wise, oh, I was unable to stop this Awaken the Beast spell. I stopped other stuff, but he got Awaken the Beast off, and because he's High Bonus, he has that special thing that allows him basically to have Oaken Throne, so he healed the 1 wound I'd gotten on his Griffin guy back. Then we do combat. He kills 5 Rangers, so I break and flee. He stays where he is. Down here, my spears break, and his knights run them down, and then they collide into the cannon. So again, this cannon is only fired once, and it didn't do anything. And then his Phoenix and his Griffin are still stuck in combat with my Flagellants. I did actually kill the Phoenix. That's why there's a star on there. So it's going to come back on the following turn, but it is dead. I did manage to kill the Phoenix the first time. The problem was the Rangers fled, so now they've chaffed my Flagellants, right? So, yeah. His positioning was such that my swordsman couldn't see him, and so I couldn't countercharge him. So he just killed 5 Rangers for free. I should have just fled. Again, moral of the story, I should have just fled, right? Okay. So, on my turn, I'm moving. Oh, that's what it was. I also didn't want to charge because my mage was in there. And I've learned in the past that if I charge with my mage, people just direct their attacks onto the mage. Personally, I find that a little cheap to attack an unarmored mage in a unit instead of the unit, but I guess people are allowed to do that. So there you go. I move my mage out into the rangers so that I can actually use this unit in battle. I rally the rangers, but I can't really do much with them. And that's it for that, for movement. Magic, I did get perception of strength off on the flagellants. I figure if they're strength 6, AP 3, maybe I can kill that griffin. Uh, yeah. And then I was able to fireball his Elaine Reavers, but he still has one left, which he could still chaff me with. um, Combat wise, I was only able to get one wound on the griffin, and he's just munching me. He's just munching that unit. So now I'm in trouble. He just took out my cannon, and my whole flank is basically disintegrated here. So I don't remember why. Oh, did I? No, because they didn't move. I don't know why I didn't do anything with these flagellants. I think I wanted to keep. If he. If. Oh, he must have failed. He failed his charge several turns ago with the Flame Wardens. That's right, he failed. But anyway. I'm sorry. So now it's his turn. He is going to go for the objective. So he moves his Flame Wardens up on the corner. I still can't charge him because of my Rangers. So he's safe to do this. And let's see. It's my turn. I attempted to charge these flagellants into his spear block and they failed. I needed like it had to only have been like a 6 or 7. And I think I rolled like a 3. It was real bad because I didn't really go anywhere. um, yeah. I don't know if that was the right move. I don't know if I should have just pushed, but well, now my flank is exposed. So instead of charging, I think I should have just turned to keep all of his guys in my front. Cause now, yeah, it's iffy. So my Arcane Engine is coming down here to support. Hopefully, I'm hoping to get some spells off and kill his Griffin. I do a fancy trick with my flagellants, blocking him basically so he can't get to the target unless he actually charges and fights my flagellants, which I'm pretty sure both of us knew was going to result in a win for me. I put steady on my heavy infantry just in case I didn't want them to run away for some reason. You never know what's going to happen. Magic went well. I was able to get a Quicksilver Lash on the Griffin and kill that Griffin finally after it already munched a Flagellant unit. His Phoenix did come back, but right, yeah, his Phoenix came back. I did all my shots. I couldn't bring down this knight. It's just the way things go. Rangers now move up on the hill, and there we have it. All right, his turn. He now, because I failed to kill this Lancer, he chaffs my Flagellants because I failed to charge on the previous turn, and I failed to kill the Lancer. So he chaffs. These Rangers, they fled. And I'm trying to remember why. Oh, it must have been like this bolt thrower or something. Because why would they flee this way? Anyway, they fled all the way through my line. He uses his other Elaine Reaver that I've been trying to kill all game to now chaff this parent unit so that I can't charge his Griffin. So again, that's why I was trying to kill it the whole game. I knew he was going to chaff me late in the game and I couldn't. He decided he was doing a lot of moves up here with his Flame Wardens. He decided it was best if he just. It was a risk to show his back to me, but he decided he's far enough away that, yeah, I could try to charge him, but I think I need like a 10 to make it. He turned his back, he just swift before him and just moved 5 inches back this way. He knows he can't get to the target. He knows I'm going to pick it up. Yeah. So there we have it. He moves his Phoenix back. This cannon can't shoot anything again. So, this map is just rough on cannons. I still don't know where I should have put this other can. I guess I should have put it down here. or something, or up here. I don't know. So my turn. He keeps shooting and magicking these flagellants because I still have 16 left, you can see. I charge, I have to kill his Lancer, so I charge and kill his Lancer just because I want to make sure I get those points. And I charge with these flagellants. I did not roll a 10, so they only win a couple inches. I charge his parent unit and do his Elaine Reaver because I have no other way to kill it, and I just want to get those points as well. I don't see a downside of charging it. Yep, between shooting and magic, I was trying to take out the this unit. He had a miscast, which is why he has 2 wounds on his BSB the previous turn. That's from a miscast. Um, so this is where it is. So what does he do? He charges everything into my flagellants. And he thought about putting the flame wardens into the flagellants, but decided, nope, I'm going for the objective. So he kills all of my flagellants here, and so it ends up at 7-13. Oh, that's right. Secure target. You have to have scoring units within 6 inches of it. I'm like, why didn't he pick it up? That's a different objective. So he had 1 scoring unit within here, so we tied objective, and so it's 7-13 on points. Yeah, my thought was after the game I was a little too aggressive, and I just didn't play stuff right. So, yeah, let me know what you think, especially about early in the game, because that's really where I struggle still, is deployment. It's really hard to figure out where to put those cannons. And thank you for watching this, following along with my journey of 90 flagellants. Hope that you're having some fun games yourself, and take it easy.